Hello, everybody. Cindy Greenway here, editor-in-chief at lawmarketing.com, and I'm joined here with Kimberly Rice, a strategic business advisor at klimarketing.com. And Kimberly's been sharing with me a story about someone that she's worked with. His name is David, who is a great illustration of a Rainmaker today. So, Kimberly, what I'd love for you to do is share with us a little bit about David's story. You know, where he was, some of the things that he did, and how he's turned into this great Rainmaker, because I think there are attorneys out there that are Rainmakers that don't consider themselves Rainmakers. So hopefully I'm hoping that some of these details will connect with them and show them that, yes, they are a Rainmaker. So tell us a little bit about David.
Absolutely. Glad to do that, Cindy, and thank you for having me today. Absolutely. I work with law firm clients very frequently, and once in a while a real rising star comes across my path. And this is what I found in my client, David, who is in his early 30s, associate at a law firm in North New Jersey, and he is a business attorney. David retained me as a business coach to help him develop his own practice and help him develop his own reputation. And what happened in David's case happens all over the country in law firms large and small, in that there is no clear path to partnership. So, you know, there's a lot of hard lessons to be learned for attorneys who desire to become part of the ownership of a law firm, but they don't know exactly, it's not been pointed out to them specifically what they need to do to make that happen. So it was about a year ago, David and I were working together. I helped him prepare for his evaluation, during which he was going to ask his supervising partner what the criterion was to become partner. At the end of that meeting, he left very frustrated with no clearer vision of what it was going to take. And I believe something really flipped in him that helped him move from just being an employee as an associate, about a 6-year associate, to now launching his own virtual law firm for the East Coast and the Midwest. And I see 3 characteristics in David and in a number of attorneys that really helped him transition to recognize the CEO of himself. Number 1 is he really held on to, and I helped him move into the personal branding space of helping him develop a solid reputation and very powerful business relationships that have now converted into strong referral sources. So it takes a lot of effort to develop a personal brand. And that involves the consistent and persistent action steps to make sure that you're, quote, out there in front of your targeted audiences, as well as taking or making the time to nurture and cultivate relationships that will be converted into referral sources. The second point that was imperative for David to move from being an employee of a law firm to now being the president of his own virtual law firm is developing the marketing mindset. You know, he has shared with me some of his best clients have come from him meeting the parents at his children's birthday parties, because he's now approaching those situations, even though they're social and very casual, as meeting the parents and finding out what their businesses are and what their challenges and pain points are, and how he as a business lawyer can help satisfy those. And so I've worked with him to help him navigate a way to turn those into paying clients. And the third is, and this is extremely important for all of us who are in a business development position, which is everyone in private practice, and that is learning to harness the power of active listening, because we certainly are not learning when we're talking. And as lawyers, you know, you're trained to solve problems and advise clients, but you don't learn if you are talking. So it's knowing when to listen and when to talk, and particularly as you're cultivating relationships and finding out what the problems are in people's businesses and business problems, is knowing how to ask good, solid questions to evoke those answers and what their pain points are. So I'm just delighted at the progress that David is now finishing his first year as the president of his own virtual law firm, has had beyond success, beyond his imagination, and it continues. I mean, this is a building process.
Well, and one of the things that you shared with me before we started this video here is that, through the active listening, through the marketing mindset and so on, is that you start to see those opportunities that you never saw before. So
Exactly.
you start to get a trained ear, a trained eye on identifying, that's an opportunity, where before it would have just completely glazed over. So
It
yeah.
absolutely is. I mean,
Mhm.
there are opportunities around us collectively every day,
Mhm.
and the difference between being a lawyer employee and being the CEO of you is recognizing and being attuned to it. I say turn on the radar, and be attuned to
Mhm.
where people are as far as in their business, or if they're transitioning. I mean, there's so many opportunities, but because lawyers are not trained to think like a business person,
Mhm.
oftentimes they just escape right
They
by.
get
So you could
missed.
be a rainmaker if you just tweaking a few things of knowing what to listen for.
Right. Great. Well, Kimberly, thank you so much. That was very insightful. And I don't know David, but I think that he deserves a big congratulations for the progress that he's made. And thank you for sharing that. For those of you that, can relate to part of the details that Kimberly has shared here, we do have the law firm Rainmaker Awards that are out there, the Rainmaker Awards for 2014. So you go to lawfirmrainmakerawards.com. You'll find some details there. And Kimberly, as always, thanks so much for sharing. And I'll talk to you real soon.
Thank you, Cindy.